मुदित चित्त से घोष करो भुवि पतित पावन सीताराम। मुदित चित्त से घोष करो भुवि पतित पावन सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जानकी वल्लभ सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय श्री राम अंगद परमानुजर से भरत शत्रुघ्न शोभा राम। जय जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। घोष करो भुवि पतित पावन सीताराम। मुदित चित्त से घोष करो भुवि पतित पावन सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम। जय जय रघुपति राम राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम।
सीताराम 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 कहिए जय विधि रखिया राम जय विधि रखिया राम ताहि विधि रखिए सीताराम सीताराम
रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पते नमः। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमस्तुते नारायणी नमस्तुते नारायणी नमस्तुते। Jai Sri Ram everyone, and we're gonna once again wish our Pitaji Pandit Ramnarain for his wonderful 87th birthday. To me, he looks like 67, and with that smile, he looks like 57. So, bless you, continuously long and happiness, peace, prosperity, love, and your spiritual journey. We're all inspired by you. This is a beautiful Mata Bhajan. Today is Friday, and actually I have to go and sing at one more satsang. Chalo Bulava Aaya Hai, Mata Ne Bulaya Hai. So Mata Rani has called us to her doorstep. Let's all join our hands together. माता जिनको याद करे वो लोग निराले होते हैं। माता जिनका नाम पुकारे किस्मत वाले होते हैं। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। ओ चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। ओ चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। माता ने बुलाया है। जय माता की। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया। सारे जग में एक ठिकाना, सारे रंग के मारों का। सारे जग में एक ठिकाना, सारे जग के मारों का। सारे जग में एक ठिकाना, सारे जग के मारों का। ओ रास्ता देख रही है माता अपनी आँख के तारों का। रास्ता देख रही है माता अपनी आँखों के तारों का। रास्ता देख रही है माता अपनी आँखों के तारों का। रास्ता देख रही है माता अपनी आँख के तारों का। So this is proverbial. This metaphor, आँख का तारा is literally translated star of my eye. And this poetry refers to each one of us who are mothers, devotees. Rasta dekh rahi hai, she is looking for us, longing for us to come to her darbar, to her doorstep. मस्त हवा का एक झोंका ये तो देखा लाया है. When we feel that gentle breeze, हवा is the wind of the breeze. It brings us a message reminding us that Maya is waiting for us. देख रही है माता अपनी आँख के तारों का. देख रही है माता अपनी आँख के तारों का. रास्ता देख रही है माता अपनी आँख के तारों का. रास्ता देख रही है माता अपनी आँख के तारों बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। ओ जय माता दी, 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 ओ जय माता दी कहते जाओ आने जाने वालों को, चलते जाओ तुम मत देखो अपने पाँव के भारों को, चलते जाओ तुम मत देखो अपने पाँव के भारों को। ओ जिसने जितना दर्द सहा है उतना चैन भी पाया है। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। जय माता दी करो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। वैष्णो देवी के मंदिर में लोग मुरादे पाते हैं। वैष्णो देवी के मंदिर में लोग मुरादे आते हैं। रोते रोते आते हैं, हंसते हंसते जाते हैं। बता सकती है, रोते रोते आते हैं। We come to Maa Devi, our doorstep to Vaishno Devi in the Himalayas. रोते रोते आते हैं, हंसते हंसते जाते हैं। We come crying to our doorstep, and everybody is so pleased. With संतोष in our hearts, contentment. हंसते हंसते जाते हैं, relieved, very happy, very blessed. रोते रोते आते हैं, हंसते हंसते जाते हैं। रोते रोते आते हैं, हंसते हंसते जाते हैं। रोते रोते आते हैं, हंसते हंसते जाते हैं। हो मांग के दे तू जिसने जो मांगा वो पाया है। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। जय माता दी चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। हो पर्वत तेरा नीमा ने दरबार लगाया है। चलो बुलावा आया है, माता ने बुलाया है। हो जय माता की, हो जय माता की, हो जय माता की, हो जय माता की। सारे बोलो हो मिलकर बोलो, हो आते बोलो, हो जाते बोलो। हो कष्ट निवारे माँ पार उतारे, हो कष्ट निवारे माँ पार उतारे। तेरी माँ भोली यो भर दे चोरी, तेरी माँ भोली यो भर दे चोरी। हो जोड़े दर्पण माँ दे दे दर्शन दे, हो जोड़े दर्पण दे, दे दे दर्शन दे। जय काया ओम सामने दरबार की जय हो। राम महाराज की भी जय हो। जय सीताराम, जय राधे श्याम।
So we stand so as we can welcome Vyas. Namastute Vyas Vishal Buddhe Puladavindaya Patranetra Yena Tvaya Bharatala Purna Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradeepa। प्रेम से बोलिए व्यास भगवान की जय. We can take your seats and we can have little. No one can be involved. We will do Vyas Puja and then we'll stand for Arati.
Shri Ram bhaj
रघुनंदन राघव राम हरे सिया राम हरे सिया राम हरे
आरती कीजिए श्री रघुवर की दशरथ नंदन सीता की आरती कीजिए आरती कीजिए श्री रघुवर की
सिया त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुः च सखा त्वमेव विद्या गतिः त्वमेव सर्वं ममेव देवा। ओम गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। हरि ओम। शांति शांति शांति। प्रेम श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की, महापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। Friends of Vyas Maharaj Ki Jai. You know, my brother Pandit Yoga was telling us the other night, Pratham Bhakti Sankar Sangha Dusarati Mama Katab Sangha. I see it working. Every night we come to this yajna, we see it getting bigger and bigger. So it's growing. Yes, try to fall into company of saintly people like our Vyaasji. And yes, we appreciate all the reading. We spend hours and hours to prepare our katha. You know? Yes, spend a lot of time because you can't just come and say anything. You know what we are saying. And our Vyaasji is very learned and he spent lots of time to go to school in India, over here also research, he and his brother here, all the time. But tonight, he's giving us free. All you have to do is put it into practice and every one of us will get blessing. Now, over to my brother. He will do the lesson.
Thank you very much, Pandit Ganeshji. And we are blessed to have Pandit Ganeshji in our company. Pandit Ganeshji is such a humble individual. And when I asked Panditji, that Panditji, you know something, we have many Pandits in the family, but when you're doing Yagna, you need Pandits. And those Pandits should not be coming from your family. In Yagna, we should be giving Dan. And if we're going to give Dan to our own self, it's like taking your money from one pocket, putting it in the other one. And so it's a waste of time. You know, so we always believe in performing Dan. And in Yagna, Dan must be given. So it is for this reason that we ask Pandit to come and to perform our puja, and so that we can have an opportunity to give bhakti, to give devotion. And as soon as I asked Panditji, a couple of months back, Panditji says, Pandit, don't worry about it. So he dropped everything he's doing in New York, and he made it possible to be here with us for the entire session. So we'd like to thank him. Devotees, it's a little cold in New York, so a lot of people decided to fly south. You know, the snowbirds, they do not like to stay in the cold. And I'm not one of those. I like New York because of that. And I like New York because of another reason. And I'll tell you that reason also. So Pandit Ganeshji, my dear brother, is joining us from New York. Bhaji Lake has been with us from the very beginning of this Yagna. Bhaji Krish and Bhaji Kavita, they just came warm off the plane, and they are here with us. Bhaji Hank and Rajniji, they are also here, just joining us. You know, there's something very special about these three groups of individuals, Bhaji Lake, Bhaji Krish, Bhaji Kav, Bhaji Hank, and Bhaji Rajni. These were the very pillar, the very foundation of the building of this temple. And I said that, I think the first night, and I will repeat that tonight, in the presence of Bhaji Krish and Bhaji Kav and Bhaji Hank and Bhaji Rajni. These were the people who held the very first show when we were casting the floor for this entire structure. When we were casting the floor for this entire structure, they were the ones who sang, danced, and did everything to raise funds to cast the floor. And I said on Monday night that that was 2005. If a child was born then, that child would have been an adult today. So this is the kind of support. Every other show that we did, they were the ones who did it. So I want you to put your hands together for them. These are the people who saw a vision and they believed in the cause that has become reality today. One person I would like to remember this evening, and that is Vyaasji Rita, and she has gone to the beyond. And when her Shraddh was being performed, we will perform monthly pindas for her. And the very first pinda that was supposed to be performed for her, her niece was not, ready because she did not have a place at that time, and she was not able to perform the pinda, so I did it myself. I performed the pinda, and I placed the pinda in the pond outside there. So every time I come here, every time I look at the pond, I remember her and Bhagwan's blessings to her. We have with us here Bhagwan Sheila, and Devoji. This family has also been very supportive. Yesterday again, they gave $1,000. They also made a very generous donation during their Yagna, and their Aarti money also was given to this. And she was here in April, and she also gave another 1,000. So sometimes, we have to recognize that these are the people who are building temples. I have my brother Mahendra, Shari, Danya, Santosh, their children, and if you look at that beautiful asan over there, Mahendra was here on vacation, and he built it. So this beautiful stage on which this was all done, it was all done by him. So Bhagwan's special blessings to him. And for those of you who have seen the posts for Bhubaneswar Mandir in Brooklyn, he is a person who also did that. And we have Bhagwan Vishnu and Pritiji from the Sri Krishna Mandir. They also built the altar for them. And Bhagwan Vishnu and Pritiji there just after playing all's well, and they're joining us here from the Sri Krishna Mandir in New York. I have my cousins, Patricia, Shomo, Girish Shareni, they're joining us from New York. Sarita and her, Sarita is joining us from New York, and where her brother is from Daytona. So we have large representation of New York, not forgetting our Vyas and his Dharmapatni. So we'd like to give you guys some news down here in Florida. We outnumber you by far. So it's a blessing. And there are so many other people who wanted to be here. Bhaji Adesh would have been here, and today on a sad note, he is for a funeral of a very close relative in Canada. So we did not get a chance to have him tonight. I've been telling my nephews that you just have to listen to Bhaji Adesh play the dholak. He is so clean, and the manner in which he does so. And we missed him tonight. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you who have taken the time to be here. Let me don't stand between you and time anymore. We'll listen to maybe 2-3 bhajans. Bhagwan Sheila, who is here, and she would like to sing a bhajan for us, and we are going to ask her to sing. And after that, Bhagwan Rajani, Bhaji Krish, Jika, Bhaji Late, we're going to be listening to you out before we take Vyas, and that's coming from Vyas. So thank you. Bhagwan Sheila.
Jai Sitaram, everybody. To our Vyaasji, so humble and so dedicated in his reading. We had a chance to listen to him in August at our Yagna. And thank you again for giving me this opportunity also, Pandit Yogaji, to come here and sit with you all and to enjoy these sessions. I'm not a good singer, but I will try my best. Please forgive me any mistakes. Kavita ji gonna help me. Koi samjhe, koi samjhe, koi samjhe, bhakt sujan, Ram कृपा करते हैं राम कृपा करते हैं
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. तेरे भोजन को भगवान बनावन मंदिर आलीशान बनावन मंदिर आलीशान तेरे भोजन को भगवान बनावन मंदिर आलीशान बनावन मंदिर आलीशान हरे राम राम Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
दीन दयाल हो तुम, श्री राम तुम्हारे जय हो। राजा राम तुम्हारे जय हो। रघुनंदन दीन दयाल हो तुम, रघुनंदन दीन दयाल
Devotees, just before I ask Baljit, Vyaasji Rishi and Vyaasji Katha to sing, I'll ask Santosh and Tanya to do for us the bhajan. But before I do so, let me say a great thank you to these Ramcharan and his Dharampati Lilavati ji. They made beautiful donation yesterday to us, and we thank you for your donation, $201. Pandit Ganesh ji, who's always been donating to the Mandir, today he says, Pandit ji, I want to make my donation. And I said, oh boy, So he made a donation of $1,000. Vyaasji Amrit, He is one person who I've never seen things slow down here, and he made tens of thousands of dollars. And together with Janet G, they're here tonight. And I always point to these floors. They are beautiful. They're much like glass, and that is all his blessings to us. And he also brought a check this evening for $1,001. And I have a little note here that says, Arnis Jainarayan Arjun was a great bhakt of Bhagwan Sri Krishna. He was a man of integrity and always kept his promise. So Uncle Arnis, God bless his soul, he just slept peacefully and woke up on the other side with Bhagwan just 2 weeks ago. His shroud was done on Tuesday gone, and he was a dear friend, a brother to my dad, and they were supporters of the Mandir before even the foundation was laid here. They were always very close to Dad. He came here and gave physical labor also, and those are what we are seeing here. One of his final wishes was to make a donation to this great Mandir. Today, that wish is being fulfilled by his Dharmapatni, and Auntie Hannah is sitting here, Meenakshi Arjun. So I would like to ask Bhagwan to bless Uncle Ornis's Atma and to bless Auntie Hannah with the strength to go on. And every October 6th, he calls me and he says happy birthday. And October 7th, I call him and say happy birthday. So we have this thing going on for many years. And we will never miss each other. So every year we will call each other. This year I was in Florida, but I had so much going on and I wanted to go in person. I could not go in person, but I visited him the following day after his birthday. And when I went there, you know, he was not in the greatest health, but he will get up and he will take his time, touch my feet, and then, but every time I come, he will ask, please come over, I have to go visit him. Every time I go, he has a check written out, put in an envelope, and this is for the Mandir. And this time, he wrote a small check, and he says, this small check is for now, but I will give you a greater one. And this one was for $250 that time. And now, Auntie Hannah just wrote this check for $5,000 on his behalf. May God bless Auntie Hannah. He would have been sitting here tonight. He said to me that I will try to make it at least one night. You know, his trial was done on Tuesday during the Yagna. So Bhagwan bless his soul. Thank you. Thank you. We'll listen to Doshi and we'll listen to Vyaasji Rishi and we'll go straight to Vyas, I know. We're breaking Hema's rule tonight. Oh, Benjika says she will sing and play. So, and then we'll put on Vyas. So, Benjika and Vyaasji Rishi, we have to listen to you all. That's
sa re ga pa da ni da pa ga re ga ma ga re ga sa la sa re ga pa da pa ga re sa ma ga re sa ni pa ni re ma pa da pa ga re ma ga re sa da re sa hey आँख हो जो शाम का दर्शन किया करे हे शीश जो प्रभु चरण में वंदन किया करे बेकार वो मग है जो रहे गर्द बालों में बेकार वो मग है जो रहे गर्द बालों में मुग बोले हरि नाम का सुमिरन किया है हीरे मोती से नाही शोभा है भाग की है हाथ जो भगवान का पूजन किया करे मन नाम है उस दीप का जग में प्रभु प्रेम में बदला जो जीवन किया
Sometimes we need to spend that quality time with our children so that these moments would be very special in their life, not only today, but for the rest of their lives. And believe me, it is not an easy task to be standing behind your children, ensuring that they learn, and ensuring that they practice, and ensuring that they keep on doing this. But if you don't give up, they'll get there. And that's where, as parents, we need to be. At this time, we will be listening to Baljit creation by Yagna Katha, and we go right on to Pandit for his Katha. नमस्तुते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दयत पत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्ण प्रज्वालितो ज्ञान मया प्रदीपः। प्रेम से बोलिए व्यास भगवान की जय।
प्रेम से बोलो सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की। श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम। आदरणीय यज्ञकर्ता पंडित जी बालजीत, सभी श्रोतागण, आदरणीय गंधर्वी समाज, अत्यंत प्रेम से भरे हुए आप सब राम भक्त, मेरी तरफ से व्यासपीठ की ओर से मैं सबका स्वागत करता हूं। आइए मेरे साथ प्रभु का प्रार्थना करें। Respected Pandit Ji Baljit, who is our main Yagna and his entire parivar, who is alongside him as Shrotas, our most divine Gandharvis, musicians, and all of you lovers of Sanatan Dharma. I want to welcome all of you tonight, and I beseech all of you to please join with me. Many of you are scholars of the Ramayan, if not students of the Ramayan, and I would like you all to join with me in these most wonderful prayers composed by our great Path Pradarshak, trailblazer Goswami Tulsidas, in the pristine language Sanskrit. These prayers, 7 in number, begins the Ramcharitmanas, and it starts with Varnanam Arthasanganam. And I'd like all of you to join with me and chant these most wonderful prayers of invocation for the Ramcharitmanas. Varnanam Arthasanghanam Rasanam Chandasamapi Mangalanam Chakartaro Vandevani Vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwasarupino Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram Kivande Bodhamayam Nityam Gurum Yamashito Hibakromi Chandra Sarva Prabhandhyate Sitaram Gunagrama Punya Vande Vishuddha Vignano Kavishwara Kapishwaro Udbhavasthiti Sanharikarinim Kleshaharinim Sarvashreyaskarim Sitam Natoham Ramavallabham Yanmaya Vashavartim Vishwamakilam Brahmadidevasura Yat Satvadamrisheva Bhati Sakalam Rajau Yathahir Brahmaha Yat Padalplavamekamevahi Bhavambodhe Stitir Shavatam Vandeham Tamasheshikaran Param Ramakyanisham Harim Nana Purana Nigamagam Sammatam Yad Ramayane Nigaritam Kvachiranyatopi Swanta Sukhaya Tulsi Raghunath Gata Bhasha Nibandham Matimanjulam आप्तनोति भाषा निबन्धमति मंजुलम आप्तनोति. We bow today to Mata Saraswati, whose blessings are absolutely necessary to delve into the poetic sentiments of Ramcharitmanas. And I pray fervently today to you, O Divine Mother, that you bless all of us with the ability to appreciate and to understand the nuances of the wonderful work of poetry called Ramcharitmanas. We bow to Lord Ganesh, who removes all obstacles and blocks from our mind. May you, O Lord Ganesh, remove all obstacles and open up our minds to listen to Shri Ram Katha. I bow to the Divine Guru, who is likened unto Shiva. By taking shelter at whom, one becomes glorious in this world, just like the moon which has taken shelter on the head, the forehead of Lord Shiva. Even though crooked and full of blemishes, the moon, the crooked moon, is glorified because it has taken shelter. Let us too, with humility, take shelter at the feet of our gurus, our teachers, and become humble in life. And we pray to Hanumanji and Valmiki. Goswami Tulsidas, you have placed Valmiki and Hanumanji in the same line because they are poets. Poets. They understand the inner sentiments of Ram's Katha, and they delivered it for the world to appreciate. I bow my head to Valmiki ji and to Hanuman ji, and we bow to Mata Sita, who is the cause of creation, preservation, and final dissolution of this material universe, who is the most beloved of Shri Ram, and who removes all our pains and our agonies. To you, O Mata Sita, my salutations again and again. And I bow to you, Shri Ram, you who are the immortal Brahman manifested in this world, who has come here for the sake of all of us, and who has kindly performed many, many leelas, which the saints and sages have meticulously recorded, so that even to this day, we can plunge our minds into such leelas and become pure and become close to you, O Shri Ram. Again and again we bow to you. I offer my salutations to Goswami Tulsidas, who has given us this marvelous work called Shri Ram Charitmanas. Tulsidas ji, you have recorded this text Swanta Sukhaya for your own joy. And we know, O Goswami ji, you are our saint. You have delivered this work to us. And you have taught us a great lesson, that if we do not enjoy what we do, then life is miserable. And therefore you have composed this Ramcharitmanas for your pleasure and your joy. And you have kindly shared this joy with all of us, which tonight we have the most wonderful opportunity in Central Florida to listen to and to partake in Rama's beautiful glories. To all of you who are here, and to our shrotas via social media, I pray that Shri Ram bless you all abundantly. And may this Katha tonight bless you in a very special way. Tonight's Katha, those who listen, those who adore while listening the feet of Shri Ram and Mata Sita, they become blessed with the most precious gift of love. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Once again, devotees, I'm so happy and pleased, and I cannot imagine how pleased Pandit Ji, our senior Pandit Baljit, is, and to sit in satsang tonight and to have all of you join him in celebrating his birthday. And tonight, to gain that love from the feet of Shri Ram, I would ask all of you to sing our theme bhajan. I like to have a bhajan which is a theme which all of us sing every night. And even after this jug is finished, when we sing this bhajan, we're going to remember this jug. A few years ago, we went to Blackbush, and a young lady met us. She said, Pandit Ji, when I was a little, I couldn't recognize her, of course. And she said, when I was a little girl, I attended one of your yag. And I always remember the bhajans. So if nothing is remembered quite often, and she said to me, I sing it every day. Raghunandan, one of the bhajans which are sung here, the kirtan, Raghunandan Raghava Rama Hare Sita Rama Hare Sita Rama Hare. And I always like to choose a bhajan. Actually, I don't really choose them, my Dharmapatni does. We choose a bhajan which we sing every night, and which we pray and hope that you will learn. And after this jag is over, you will sing it at your homes when you do puja, and you will make it your own. So we'll sing Bhajaman Ram Charan Sukhadhai. But this bhajan is very long. But we only chose 3 verses. It has 6 verses, so we cut it in half. Bhajaman Ram Charan Sukhadai. Bhajaman Ram Charan Sukhadai. Bhajaman Ram Charan Sukhadai. Bhajaman Ram Ram Charan Sukhadai. Bhajaman Ram Charan Sukhadai. Ram Charan Sukhadai. Bhajaman Ram Charan Sukhadai. Bhajaman Ram Sukhadai. Bhajaman Ram Shankar Jata Samai. Jin Charan se nikasi sur sari, Shankar Jata Samai. Jata Shankari Naam Kayo hai, Jata Shankari Naam Kayo hai, Yogan Dharanai. Charan Santan Jan Sevak Sada Rahat Sukhadai. Charan गौतम ऋषि नारी सोई गौतम ऋषि नारी परसी परम परमाए शिव सनकादिक अरु ब्रह्मादिक शेष सहस मुख गाई शिव सनकादिक अरु ब्रह्मादिक शेष सहस मुख गाई शिव सनकादिक अरु ब्रह्मादिक शेष सहस मुख गाई तुलसीदास मारुत सुत प्रभु तुलसीदास मारुत सुत प्रभु की निज राम चरण सुखदाई भज मन 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 राम चरण सुखदाई रामचरण की जय. So Ramacharan means Ram's feet, and we are telling our mind, Bhajamana, oh my mind, always worship the feet of Shri Ram, because at his feet lies all the joys and happiness in this world. So tonight, once again, I join all of you in Katha. Last night we saw how the Divine Mother Ganga came down, and people became very, very happy. The saints and sages started to pan kare, drink the water of the Ganga. They majan kare, they took bath in Gangaji's most sacred water. And Ram and Lakshman, having listened to how Ganga Maya came down from the heavenly regions by the penance and austerities of his ancestors, he became deeply connected with the sacred Gangaji. And Bhagwan Ram, once again with Lakshman, they went again and reverently took bath in the sacred Ganga and offered prayers once again and tarpan again to those who departed. We ought to listen to our greatness. And I want to tell all of you, without any exception, that you have come from a great and glorious heritage, which all of you must be proud of, including myself. I'm really, really proud and happy that I was born in the Sanatan culture, in a culture that teaches Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that this whole world is an entire family. This is how our people have lived all the time. And Ram became proud of his ancestors. Not that he wasn't proud before, but when he heard it, that pride, and this is not the bad kind of proud, There are two kinds of pride. One is called Abhiman, right? Ghamand. And the other pride is called Garv. Right? One one kind of pride, garv. Garv is when you are proud in the sense that you want to emulate, to bring into your life what your parents and your grandparents and great-grandparents and what you possess as your dharwar, what you possess as your treasure, which is Sanatan Dharma, being proud of it and practicing it, as we say, without any fear, without any hesitation, and without feeling inferior in any way. That is called pride in one's culture and in one's dharma. And then the other abhiman, the little you possess, you think you alone get. And nobody else has it in the world, so you better than other people. That's called abhiman. Okay? So we don't want that kind of pride. We want pride that you have inherited something which is a treasure from your ancestors, your culture, your civilization, our sacred land, Bharat, which has given Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam to the entire world. And this whole world is an entire family. And we live in peace. We live with great respect and friendship with other people, regardless of their viewpoints, regardless of whatever may be their opinions. But we try to be friendly whatsoever. But, our Rajas in the past, the Kshatriyas in the past, we always used to live nice and peacefully with people, but here, don't mess with us, okay? Because we can raise our ugly head too. So this is the way, and this is the pride that we all must feel in our hearts. And so Bhagwan Ram, although he had taken a bath before, after listening to how Gangaji came down from the heavenly regions, he went again on his own. First, the Guruji pointed the direction, go bathe and so. But after he listened to Katha, he went on his own, without being, signaled, without being told. And this is what we hope, Pandit Yoga. We hope that by telling our culture, by representing our dharma, by reminding our children of how great heritage they have inherited from their parents and grandparents, that our job will soon be over, that they will take it and run. Like how Bhagwan Ram listened to Gangaji's Katha, and he himself went and took a bath and did all that was well. After they took the bath, many saints and sages who heard that Vishwamitra was there with Dashrath's son Ram and Lakshman, they all gathered there to feast their eyes on Shri Ram. And it was then that Vishwamitra decided to take them to Mithila. And this place is called Mithila. It is also, that's the name of the country, Mithila. The name of the region. And that region, there was a great yagna going on in Mithila. And Vishwamitra thought to himself, well, let me take, since I have a couple more days with Ram and Lakshman, let me take them to see the yagna. Just like how we bring Danya and we bring Santosh, to see what this yagna is all about and to enjoy, and we bring our grandchildren to come and see what this yagna is all about. And Vishwamitra thought, let me take Ram and Lakshman to see this wonderful yagna. And as they approach, when they reach this place, when you are young and you go to another city, you become very, very excited. But Ram was calm. But Lakshman was very chanchal. You know what chanchal mean? He had a special character. And all the little children, when they grew up, they all loved the character and nature of Lakshman. Lakshman was looking here and there and everywhere. And what did Lakshman see? Banay na baranat nagaranikai jaha jai manalahelo bhai. The eyes became very, very greedy to see the beauty and splendor and magnificence of Janakpur, where Janak himself resided. Who is Janak? Janak is the father of Mata Sita. Maybe not a biological father, but we all know Janak, King Janak, as the father of Sita Mata. And his city where he lived. Goswami Tulsidas describes the city. He says, Charu Bajaru Vichitra Avari Manimaya Bidhi Janu Swakara Savari. He says as if Brahma made this city, the creator himself, Brahma, made this city Janakpur with his own hands. And Pandit Yoga gonna like this. Dhanik, Banik, Baradhanara Samana, Bete Sakala Bastu Lainana. There was a lot of things going on. The city was very, very busy. In Janak city, everybody was rich. Dhanik, Banik, everybody had some kind of little kind of business going on. But Dhanada Samana, and they all resemble Dhanad Kuber in Janakpur. They were all like Kubers in Janakpur. And in Janakpur, Baite Sakala Vastu Lainana, there were many, many, many kinds of merchandise. All kinds of things you can think about is there. As if Kuber himself, the Lord of wealth, was living there. There was advancement. There was prosperity. There was beauty, art. The economy was going around. There was learning. And in Janakpur, in spite of the prosperity and plenty that was there was a deep sense of righteousness, a deep sense of dharma, of which the ruler is the best example. In Janakpur, Goswami Tulsidas, he says, Sura Sachiv, Senapa Bahutere. While all that prosperity was going on, Janakpur, Janak had a mighty army to protect his country, mighty army. And all his generals and all the people of his army, those who were responsible for the army of Janak, they had palaces that were equal in beauty and magnificence like Janak's palace himself. I asked myself, why did Janak make palace like his own palace and give it to his generals in his army? And I got the answer. You also probably got the answer. I like to ask questions when I'm reading for personal pleasure. I like to ask a lot of questions to myself. You know, sometimes they're coup. Many countries, the military want to overthrow the government. You know why usually they want to overthrow the government? Because the president is rich. He get everything. And the commanders, they don't have anything. Greed comes in there. Jealousy comes in. And they want to get what the president has. When Pakistan was formed, very quickly, there was a coup. Military took over. But Janak was smart. All the military generals in his army, he built palaces equal or better than his, and he gave it to them. They were so happy. They had no need to be jealous that the king had more than them. And so they were happy. And the military dexterity, the chivalry that the country of Janak produced is unparalleled. And that has caused Janakpur to be one of the countries in the world that was never, ever, ever, ever ruled by a foreign power. Do you all know which country that is? Janakpur is in the Hindu Raj that we now know as Nepal. They also have a place called Bihar in Nepal where Janakpur is situated. And the military art was so powerful that from those days until now, many armies want those people. They are called Gurkhas. Google it when you go home now. The Gurkhas are descendants of those military men from Janakpur. Once the British wanted to take over. They were already ruling in Bharat, India as we know it. Nepal is, in ancient days was also part of Bharat. The British wanted to go to Nepal and to take over by force. And while they were going one night, they camped. They made a big camp. 4,000, 5,000 soldiers were in the camp. They had sentries looking out. But when they were ready to wake up the soldiers in the morning to march forward, when the general who was separated from the camp, when he came there to wake them up, all his soldiers' necks were slit. The Gurkhas, who had learned that military art, entered without even them waking up, even the sentries, and using the Gurkha's knife. Have you ever seen one of that? Using just the Gurkha's knife, ended their ambition to go into Janakpur and take over and rule. Unfortunately, it was just recently that influence from China, they didn't send an army. I want you all to know this. I just want to give you some information. China, without sending an army, sent an idea into Nepal. And the idea is called communism. And the ideals that that country lived on for centuries, millennia, was shaken up because a foreign idea had entered there. And that is why we have to guard ourselves all the time. All the time. What kind of ideas we are entertaining. Unfortunately, the lineage of kings is not there anymore. But the people saw. People saw that this kind of thing, this kind of idea is not good for our dharma and our culture. And now even in that country of Nepal, they are asking again for Raj Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, to establish an ancient system of governance in that country once again. So things are happening, and that is Janakpur. So Janak had mighty palaces built for his soldiers, and everywhere. Janak didn't fight many wars, but his military might was a deterrent. Anybody who thought about invading Janakpur had to think twice, because those people, their country is better than their own life, greater than life, their life itself. They will defend it at any cost. And so, friends, Lakshman was looking everywhere, admiring all the nice big palaces. What do you think the Guru said? They had walked a very far way. Vishwamitra saw a mango grove, Ambarai. Many of you who look for your ancestors, you will see that they come from some kind of Barai. A barai means like a grove, a village. Vishwamitra saw an barai, a mango grove filled with nice mango trees. And he told Ram and Lakshman, well, we're going to rest here. Lakshman said, you mean all these nice palaces and houses are around and we're going to rest underneath the mango trees? But the Guruji's orders and desires were carried out. They rested under the mango tree. And Janak, the news read Janak, that Vishwamitra came there with two young boys, handsome, beyond description, and they were resting in the mango grove, together with some saints and sages who had followed them barefooted all the way to Janakpur. And so Janak, being the king he was, Janak proceeded to meet Vishwamitra.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Raghunath sun kar gopalak Muni kul tilak kul palak Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Brahma jo nigama Ubhaya Beshadhari Soya Ubhaya Beshadhari Soya Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Shri Ram King Janak, he didn't go himself or with politicians around him. He had his ministers with him, of course, but he had the well-learned and erudite scholar of Janakpur, and together with the main Pandit, the main preceptor, the main Acharya, Shatanan, accompanying Janak, they went to the mango grove, the mango field, where they sat, where Vishwamitra, Ram, Lakshman, and all the saints sat. And as soon as they feasted their eyes on these two young boys, one dark, Syama, Gaura, Mridu, Bayasa Kishora, one dark and one fair, who were yet tender in age, they lost their minds. So handsome was Ram and Lakshman that tears, imagine these were ministers of government, they were scholars of Dharma, and the king himself, tears started rolling out of their eyes just looking at Ram and Lakshman. Their bodies were thrilled. The hair on their body stood at ends. And some of you look Sarigama pa, right? You hear this, rongte khare hote hain. Rongte means the hair on their body stands up, stands on end. They were thrilled to see Ram's sweet, charming appearance, just the appearance. Janak felt a special kind of joy. He started feeling so much love in his heart just by looking at Sri Ram. But the king, last night somebody told me, I can't tell you who, but he said, Pandit, I listened to Ganga Maya
and I feel like crying. I had to hold back myself. Janak felt the same way. He's king. And some people, they don't really care. When they listen to Ram Katha and the tears flow, they let it go. Those are special tears. Those are not tears like when you get worries, When you have problems and difficulties in life and the tears flow, one saint told me, when I was a young student, he said, that tear is different. How is different, Panditji? If you taste it, it's salty. But tears of bhakti, tears of devotion, there are different kinds of tears. Those are the tears that washes the heart and purifies it. And that tear, I was told, is not salty. That tear, it's sweet. Janak, he too started to tear up, but he composed himself because Janak, he was also known as, anybody know? Shout out the answer. Don't be afraid. This is one time you can shout. Janak was also known as Vaideha. Vaideha was Janak's. He was known as Vaideha. Why he's called Vaideha? Janak was called Vaideha because he was considered living outside his body. He was not of this body. So he's called Vaideha. He was Virakt. He was totally detached from his body and emotions and all these things. He was totally Virakt, detached from his body. He was well known. So much so, many thousands of years after, Krishna Bhagwan remembers him when he was telling Arjun the Gita in battlefield. And among the kings whose names were called as Raj, Rishis, was the name Janak. That Janak had practiced austerities and has practiced the teachings of Sanatan Dharma. That even while living, he was liberated. Even while living, he was in touch with the joy and bliss of Paramanand, joy and bliss of Brahman. And that is why Janak was called Vaideha. Even though living in a body, he was always out of his body. And so his daughter too is also called Vaidehi. You know that? Thank you very much. I'm so proud of you all. Janak, although he was never attached to anything, not his wealth, not his prosperity, not anything that was shining out there, not his money, his wealth, nothing. His dharohar, his wealth, was kept captive and with care inside his bosom. Like practicing long hours of meditation and everything. But when he saw Ram, when he saw the personality of Shri Ram, Janak, his mind became vigilant. His mind became shaky, and finding his heart overwhelming with love and tears flowing out of his eyes, he composed himself and bowing down at the saint's feet, his eyes were still at Sri Ram. Sometimes you come to the Bhagwan to bow, and what happened? You're bowing down at the feet of Bhagwan, but your eye is somewhere else. That's what happened to King Janak. He could not take his eyes off of the beauty of Sri Ram. He could not take his eyes off, and even though bowing at the feet of Vishwamitra, his mind was still there in Shri Ram. And choking in emotions, for the first time in his life, choking, he asked, Kahu Nath, Sundar Do Balak, tell me, O Lord, who are those two boys? he asks Vishwamitra. And he tries to give some clues to Vishwamitra. Muni Kula Tilak, are they scions of the race of the Munis? Are they sons of some great rishi? Ki Nripa Kula Palak, or were they reared up in the dignified palace of some king? Were they cultured in some dignified palace? And Janak, Brahma jo nigama neti kahi gawa. Our Vedas tell us that this Brahman that we all seek to realize, that God that we seek to realize, our Vedas says neti, 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 not this, not this, not this. And when we did the chant, only one chant I got to do on the first night, we talk about this. That if there is none like him, then anything else that is used as a simile to compare him, we have to in the end admit our defeat and say, neti, not this. So here Janak is saying, because he knows the Vedas by heart, he says, O Rishi, O Vishwamitra, Brahma, this Brahma, jo nigama neti kahigawa, that the Shastras describe as neti neti, obhaya bedadhari kisui ava. Have this neti, has this Brahman come here in dual form? The battery went out. Yes, this is the battery. This mic can really handle me. Janak asks that this Brahman that saints and sages realize in their heart, and who is the indescribable, has this Brahman come in this dual form as Ram and Lakshman? Janak admits, he says, my mind is always pure and steadfast and steady. But seeing these two boys, this passion has left me. That steadiness of mind is gone. And then Vishwamitra answers King Janak. He answers King Janak and he said, Oh Janak, these are the sons of Dasharath. They are Ram and Lakshman. They have come to perform seva. They have come to perform seva. They have come to help me. Overwhelmed with their very sight. Janak was so pleased to hear that the king's son has left the comfort of his father's palace and is walking alongside his sage and has come to serve the saint. Janak was tremendously happy to hear that. He tells Vishwamitra, Inahi bilokat ati anuraga. O Vishwamitra, looking at them, I feel in my heart love that I have never ever felt before. And even though Barabbas, Brahmasukahi, Manutyaga, this love that I feel in my heart by looking at Ram and Lakshman, that joy that I had in my heart, joy of realizing Brahman, is insignificant, cannot be compared to the love that I am feeling now. Now, Janak was a Brahmagyani. He was a realized soul who has realized the Brahman, the formless, supreme Brahman, and he was always feeling joy in his heart. He describes that heavenly bliss that he felt in his heart. There is that bliss that he has now by feasting his eyes on Sri Ram. Overpowers the bliss even of the heavens. Janak escorted them and give them beautiful dwellings. Say, look, you have come to Janakpur. I have prepared places. He told them about the yagya that he performed. He told them about his daughter. Tonight I don't have time for that. Although I love to tell about Sita and how she came. Janak told them all of that. And he told them that this bow was kept in his family as a treasure. And nobody can lift the bow and move it around easily. And so one day he saw Sita, even she used to sweep and clean up and thing, even though she was a princess. So one day she was cleaning up where the bow was in their puja, Mandir, as part of the palace, and she just moved the bow easily, and Janak was surprised. And Janak said, look, when my daughter comes of age, not only someone who can move this bow and lift it, only who can lift this bow would marry my daughter. And so this yagya that they came to see was called a Dhanush Yag. Last night we heard about a Ashwa Yagya, Ashwamedh Yag. Tonight they're doing a Dhanush Yag in Janakpur. And Janak had sent out message all over the place, all over. And so the princes, all of them wanted to vie. They wanted to try out their skills to see if they can lift the bow. And after the yagya would have been finished, and the ahuti would have been poured into the sacred Agni, then they would try out the bow. And whoever would lift the bow, Janak had made a proclamation that is the person Sita will take a garland in Swayamvar, and she will garland such a person, accepting such a person to be eligible for her hand in marriage. You hear my words? Eligible. Doesn't mean once you throw the mala on somebody, the deal is done. No. Some people erroneously think that Jaimal is a wedding. It's not. So Janak said, whoever can lift this bow, Sita will place the garland. And so he explained all of that. He gave them a nice place to stay. And he went along. But he could not stop thinking about Ram and Lakshman. Everywhere he went carrying on his business of arranging for this Jagan Pandit Yoga and his family know. And that when you're doing a yag, how busy you can be. Janak was very busy administering his country and doing the work of preparing for the yag and making accommodations and all of this. And friends, the day was still young. Lakshman told Ram, Bhaiya, this city, we only see a little bit of it. Let's go see the rest. And so they went out. And while they went out to see the city, they, of course, having gotten permission from Vishwamitra, when they went out to see the city, this is what the people of Janakpur was saying about these two princes who are here in Janakpur. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama, Shri Ram Jai Sakhi parantu panu nakajai, Sakhi parantu panu raun nakajai, विधि बसहती अविवेक ही भजही विधि बसहती अविवेक ही भजही सखी परंतु प्रौन तजहु सखी न परंतु राहुना तजहु विधि बसहती अविवेक ही भजही नाहिद आली संदेह श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम The people of Janakpur, they were looking at Ram and Lakshman and they were admiring their beauty and the love that Janak felt in his heart. By just looking at Ram and Lakshman, the people of Janakpur, they started to feel this sahaj prem. Prema prema ka tattva hai. Prema hi Ishwar naam. Bina prema ke. You know? That this prem, this love, prema prema ke tattva hai. The tattva, the essential essence of God is love. And you imagine when Bhagwan himself comes down on this earth and you have the opportunity to feast your eyes to look at him. You imagine what happened to you? The people of Janakpur, when they looked at Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman, immediately their heart melted with love. One of them asked, did Janak see these two boys yet? Somebody answered, yes, he did. Somebody else said, why didn't he give up the stupid idea of this jug and lifting the bow? Look how they're handsome. If Sita is to feast her eyes on these boys, she is going to tell her father, listen, forget this yag and let me get married to them. One of the two, anyone. Because they were equally handsome. But then they said, like many of our grandparents and fathers used to be, they said, but Janak, he is a ziddi, a jiddi. Ziddi means stubborn person. That if he says something, like in Guyanese Creolese, you know, I wouldn't say it. If he said this, if he pointed to wood and he said that's iron, you can't tell him it's wood. Do you know when they came from India? I hear many stories. If they tell their daughter, this boy is the boy you got to get married to, that the boy you got to get married to, I hear. They laid down the rules. And they said, our king, he will never go back on his words. And the people started to pray, oh God, please let Janak change his mind, because look how these boys are young. They're not going to be able to lift the bow. But please let Janak change his mind. And let one of them get married to Sita. Because, you know what one of them said? Kabahuka e avahi yehi nate. Because if one of them get back married to Sita, then he will come again and again to Janakpur. And we gonna get the chance again and again and again to see him. And so friends, Lakshman and Sri Ram, they went around Janakpur and they went to where the Yagya Sthal was, where the Yagya Bhumi was. And something interesting, Ram and Lakshman was there. How old do you think Ram is older than Lakshman? That's another question. You answer it for yourself. It's like how sometimes me just play like me big for Pandit Yoga. But he just big 1 month. Ram probably, a day, maybe the most of couple hours. But Ram took on the charge. And he is showing Lakshman. He said, Lakshman, look, you see that arena there? That is where Janakji will perform the yag. And you see the bow that they have decorated so beautifully? That's the bow many kings will come and try to lift. And he's telling Lakshman. And he's pointing out things to Lakshman as if he was probably there before. The night they went back home, having visited the, Janakpur, and they had a flock of people. The children were also following them and touching them and showing them this. You know, when you go to certain places and you meet the children gonna hold your hand and show you this and show you that. No tour guide can show you better than the children of that place. They will show you all the secrets of their village and so on. You just be nice to them. And they will show you everything. Like we hear a story on our way here today. I'm not going to talk that story because I'm going to go too long. But, children, they don't keep anything back. And so the children of Janakpur show Ram and Lakshman around and all the little secrets of Janakpur. They went back there before night. They didn't stay out late. They went back before night because they had respect for their guru. And there the Guruji, they sat down, they did Sandhya, Vandana, they did their evening prayers and recitation of mantras. And then Kahata Katha, Itihasa Purana. And Vishwamitra tells Ram and Lakshman Katha, like we are telling Katha here, from the Itihas, from the Purans. And then they massage the Guru's feet. Even though Guruji was telling them, please, you go and sleep, they did not, until the Guruji fell asleep. And they were sure that Vishwamitra was sound asleep. Then did Ram and Lakshman leave and they went and sleep. Early in the morning, they took their bath and so on. And then they decided that they were going to go get flowers for Guruji's puja.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Rup Bagu Parde Ujai Jaha Batandare Tu Lobhai Rup Bagu Parde Ujai Jaha Batandare Tu Rahi Lobhai Shri Ram Jai Ram Jabudesi Chitai Puji Mali Gana Lage Nagala Pula Mudita Mana
तेहि अवसर सीता तहाँ आई, तेहि अवसर सीता तहाँ आई, गिरिजा पूजन जननी पढ़ाई, गिरिजा पूजन जननी पढ़ाई। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। And so Bhagwan Sri Ram and Lakshman, they went, and having sought permission from the gardeners. Remember this, you can't run into somebody's garden and pick flowers and say you're going to go to puja. Right? Admiring the beauty of the garden and asking permission from the gardeners that they needed some flowers for puja. And the gardeners, being happy to see them, giving them permission, Ram and Lakshman, they started collecting flowers in the garden of Janak. At that time, Tehi Avasara Sita Taha Ai. At that time, Mata Sita too with her friends were coming there. What they were doing? Girija Pujan. Janani Pathaye Sunayana had sent her to go do puja in the temple of Girija, which was next to a lake in the very garden that Ram and Lakshman were picking their flowers. She was accompanied by her friends Sangha Sakhi Sab Subhaga Sahayani Gavahi Geeta Manohara Bani. Her friends, they were walking so joyfully with us, swaying like young deer. They were walking, and you know what they were doing? They were singing Gavahi Geet. You know, in India, if they go fetch water, there is a song. If they are planting rice, there is a song. Anything, if they are threshing the rice, there is a song. Now they are walking from the palace to go to puja, and the friends, they are singing as they are accompanying Sita. They are singing Gavahi Geeta Manohar Bani. With sweet voices they were singing. Sarasamipa Girija Grihasoha Barani Najai Dekhi Manumoha. They went there, and Majanu Kari Sarasakhina Sameta, and they bathed, taking a bath in the lake. Having taken that bath, Gai Muditaman Gauri Niketa. You know, sometimes you feel tired, right? But you want to go pray. But you take a bath and see the difference. Especially if the bath is on an outside sarovar and the weather is nice, not like New York, right? And you take a bath, immediately your spirit is uplifted and your shram, your tiredness goes away. That's my experience. And that is why in Sanatan Dharma, before we do puja, we always try to get a bath. Right? In our tradition, that's what we do. And then between the bath and the puja, when you sit down, you take little water. Right? And you do achman. Right? You sip water and you touch the ang of your body to energize them so that your little bit tiredness and everything goes away and you're ready. Now, having taken this bath, Goswami Tulsidas says, Gai Muditaman, Sita and her companions, their mind was uplifted. And then they went for puja. Puja kin adhika anuraga. They did puja to Gauri, Parvati Mata. And with much love. And you know what Mata Sita prayed for? She went to Gauri Mandir and she Nija Anurupa Subhag Barumaga. She prayed to Gauri Mata, Hey Ma, may I find a spouse to suit me. Nije Anurup, Subhag, and he must be a nice person. Subhag. He must be charming inside and out. Barumanga. This is the prayer she made to Gauri. You say, oh Gauri Mata, may I find a husband that will match me up. And may he be nice in all ways, in good qualities. And then they left the Mandir, Gauri Mandir, and they were walking. And something happened.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Ek sagi siya संगो बिहाई गई रही देखन भुलवाई
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
यही तो बंधु पियो के जाई यही तो बंधु पियो के जाई प्रेम विवश सीता पहियाई प्रेम विवश सीता पहियाई
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
One of their companions was coming from another direction. She had left the group when they were going to do puja. You know, sometimes you take tour, Panditji have the experience, right? You take a little tour somewhere, right? You say you get 10 people in your group. One or two of them must dance somewhere and you got to look for them. Right, Panditji, Chano? So Mata Sita and her companions went to do this puja and one of them gone stray. But when the puja was over, she came running to her friends and she was stupefied. She was not the same. When her Sakis saw the condition of her body, her eyes were filled with tears. She was trembling. They asked her, "Why are you so happy?" She looked very, very happy, even though tears coming out of her eyes. Her demeanor, her body changed. They knew it was a thrill of joy. And she stammered. She stammered. No, normally she doesn't stammer. There are two princes that came here to see this garden. Baya in age, they are young, Kishore, Sababhati Suhaye, and they are so charming in every way. Sham, Gaur, Kimi, Kahu, Bhakani. How can I describe them to you all, my friends? This one Sakhi who had gotten away. How can I describe these princes to you all? Because, and those of you who like Hindi, right? Listen to this. Gira Anayana, Nayana Binu, Bani. It's a muhavara. It's a metaphor. It's a saying in Hindi that gira, speech, doesn't have eyes. Gira means speech. Anayan means without eyes. And Nayana, Binu, Bani. When you go home, write it down. My eyes, the friend said. My speech doesn't have eyes. And my eyes doesn't possess speech. Therefore, I cannot describe what I have seen to you. And there was a great longing. Suni Harashi Tabasaki Sayani. All the friends were happy. And then they all had this longing that if our friend can be like this, and she usually prattle more than anybody else. She's usually more descriptive than anybody else. If she says she doesn't have words, let us go and see what she is talking about. And friends, Mata Sita too had that longing. And she said to herself, maybe they are the two princes that came yesterday with Vishwamitra. And so she goes.
Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Rama Jaya
They're moving towards the direction where their friend was coming. And on the other side, these two princes, Ram and Lakshman, they heard, Tulsidas describes it. My teacher, Professor Devanand Sharma, he says this is the best chaupai in the whole Ramcharitmanas. Kankana kinkina nupura dhuni suni. Kahatala khanasana Ram hridaya guni. What were Lakshman and Ram? They're busy picking flowers. Or as we would say nowadays about young people, so them say. They were busy picking flowers. And they heard Kankan, the sound of bangles, the jingling of the bangles. Kinkini. Kinkini is the chain that is tied around the waist with bells. The bangles, the jingling of the bangles, and the tinkling of the bells of the nupur, the kinkin, and the anklets, the pile, nupur. the jingling of the nupur. They heard such sweet and beautiful songs coming in unison, like music from the heavens. Kehtalakan sa Rama Hridaya Guni. Ram heard that. And Ram turned to his little brother. Not too much, smaller than him. Kehtalakan son Ram Hridaya Guni. Hey Lakshman. Oh Lakshman. लगता है कि कामदेव अपने डमरू को लेकर आ रहा है. He said, Lakshman, it looks to me, the song coming here, it looks like the God of love himself is coming with his dhamru, with his musical instrument to capture my heart. Oh Lakshman, I cannot describe it. He wants to conquer this universe. Oh Lakshman. So saying, after saying this to Lakshman, he looked towards where the song was coming, and for the first time, at least in this part, he beheld Sita. And when he beheld Sita, this was the condition of our Prabhu, Shri Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram
and he could not close his eyes to wink. Goswami Tulsidas just says, just like Nimi. Nimi, it is said, he is some ancestor of King Janak who is present in our eyelids, causing us to blink. So is this story. But it says that it seems like Nimi, that which causes us to blink, has left Ram's eyes. Ram stared at Sita and he could not blink. He could not blink when he saw Sita's beauty. He was thrilled with emotion. He admired Sita's beauty in his heart. But words Goswami Tulsidas says, words, Hridaya Saha Saraha Bachanuna Ava, admiring Sita's beauty in his heart. Words failed to come out of his mouth. Composing himself, Janubiranchi Sava Nijani Putai, he felt as though Brahma himself, the creator himself, put all his skill, Brahma himself put all his skill in creating in visible form beauty itself. That is how Ram felt. That Brahma made beauty itself. He says, Sundar ta kahu, Sundar karahi Sita, the one who puts beauty in beauty itself. This is another muhavara, another saying, Sundar ta kahu, Sundar ta ai. That which puts beauty in itself. And he says, Chabi griha deepa sikha janu barahi. He says, like a flame lighting up a dark room, so the loveliness of Sita has lit up the garden of beauty. The beauty of Sita has lit the garden of beauty itself. And then he says, every other word of description failed to describe the beauty of Sita. And then, describing to himself Sita's beauty, he turned to his younger brother and he said, "Oh Lakshman, I want to be the big brother, right? Lakshman, this is Janak's daughter, Janki, whom this yag is being done for. Oh, she has come to worship Gauri, to get a good husband, diffusing light all around this place." And he admitted, he confided to Lakshman, his younger brother. He says, "Lakshman, I'm always steady at mine. But Lakshman, na jane kyun? Na jane kyun mera man vichalit ho gaya hai. I don't know why. My mind has become restless ever since I feasted my eyes on Janak's daughter." And you know what, Lakshman? You know what else? Farakahi subhag ang sunu bhrata. Hey mere bhrata, hey mera chota bhai, mera daya ang parak raha hai. My right side is throbbing. Now, those of you who know our Shagun, right, in Bharatiya culture, in Indian culture, when your left eye is throbbing, it means something. When your right eye is throbbing, it means something. If your left hand is scratching, it means something. If your right hand scratch, isn't it true? Who teach you all these things? Your mothers, your grandmothers. Where do you think he came from? From our culture. Bharatiya culture, Indian culture. We have these things. We have it. And Goswami Tulsidas, whatever is the culture, all of it, he took a snapshot of our culture. A snapshot. And he put it in the Ramcharitmanas. So we will never ever forget. Even the little totkas. You know what totka is? Little secret things that we do, you know. Like when the child, you jari the child. And so on. All these things. Goswami Tulsidas captures it in Ramcharitmanas. So none of us will ever forget. Ram tell Lakshman, "Bhaiya, my right side is shaking, it's throbbing." Gayana used to say, "My foot a jump, my right side a jump, my eye a jump." Ram tells Lakshman that for the first time, as far as I know, Ram, Shri Ram, bears his heart out to Lakshman and tells Lakshman what was going on in his heart. That happened to Ram. Now what happened to Sita? Let's see. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Chipavahita ke tajahu sisika Chipavahita ke tajahu sisika Sabagaye kripa ke suramantika Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Chittavati Chakita Chahu, this is Sita. Anxiously, with an anxious mind, Sita Mata was looking here and there, everywhere she was looking. The eyes went all over. Normally in Janak's house, they would tell Sita, listen, keep your eye one place. In the garden, Sita's eyes were looking all over. And she was wondering, where am gone? Kahan gaye ye do? Where have they gone? And wherever she looked, Goswami Tulsidas said, wherever Mata Sita, jaha bilo kambrigasa vakanayani, janutaha barasi kamala sita shreni. Every place she was looking, it appeared like she was seeing lotus, purine flowers raining down. That's what she was seeing. She became very anxious, and then her friends pointed out, Deki rupalochana lalachaye. Her friends pointed out to her that the lata means things that grow on vine and bear flowers. There is a fence made with the vines of creepers, like chameli and so on. And behind there, the two of them, Ram and Lakshman, they are standing. Lata ota sabasakinas lakhai. The friends showed her. And on beholding, she saw the beauty of Ram and Lakshman. Goswami Tulsidas says, Lalachai. If you know little Hindi, you will know what that means. Longing. Her eyes started to long for the sight of Ram and Lakshman. Harashe Janu Nidhi Pehechane. And she felt so happy at her heart, in her heart, as if she has found her long lost treasure. Harashe Janu Nidhi Pehechane. She has found her long lost treasure, and now she has the opportunity to feast at it. She too could not close her eyes. Gazing at Sri Ram for a long time, her eyes ceased to wink. And her body started to feel, she started to lose consciousness of her body. A little bit more than Bhagwan Ram. She started to feel numb in her body, but the eyes will not close. And then knowing that she will have to, her mom and dad will be worried for her, she did something which all the rishis and munis seek to do every day in life. What did she do?
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
लोचन मगनी राम कुर आनी दीने पलक कपाट सयानी
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
जगसिया लाखेना प्रेम बस जानी कहीं न सकही कछु मन मुस्कानी
Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram. Guru Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram. Guru Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Lochana Magarama hi urani. He says, listen, I have found my treasure. And now I'm not going to lose my treasure any longer. And through the pathway of her eyes, she placed Ram in her heart. And you know what else she did? She closed her eyes tight. Placing Ram in her heart, she closed her eyes tight. Goswami Tulsidas in very poetic language teaches us what many books, the Upanishads and the Shastras and all these great books, they teach us how to capture God and put the supreme in our heart. And once we start to feel the presence of Bhagwan in our heart, the most Payoji, maine Ram Ratan Dhan Payo, when we have found that Ratan, that jewel, that precious treasure of Sri Ram, Mata Sita teaches us how to protect that treasure. True. Turning the senses inwards through the pathway of our eyes. The eye represents the senses. Turning all the senses inwards and focusing on the Hriday Guhya, in the innermost regions of the inner core of the being, and placing that treasure there. Close the eyes. After that, when you found the best treasure in this world, the outside world disappears. All the glitter that you see out there, all disappear because you have found the best treasure of all. Mata Sita teaches us that. Through the pathway of her eyes, she took Ram inside her heart and closed her eyes. In the meanwhile, Bhagwan, Sri Ram and Lakshman emerged. Goswami Tulsidas says, like a moon emerging through the clouds in the sky, Ram emerged. And Goswami Tulsidas describes more pankasira sohatanike, every avatar forebodes the next avatar. Right, Pandit Yog? Here, Bhagwan Shri Ram is showing. He dressed up like Krishna and came out. How? Morapank, with a peacock feather on his head, and he came out like that. He forebodes Krishna's avatar, and he's teaching us also. He's teaching us also that Ram and Krishna, they're one and the same. And Goswami Tulsidas also tells us, Charu Chibaku Nahisikapola Hasa Bilasa Lenam Manumola, the stealer of hearts, Manamohan. So when you sing Manamohan Nandalal, Ram is described by Tulsidas as Manamohan. Manamola, the one who captivates the heart. He comes out of the creepers, between that creeper, and he showed himself to the Sakis and to Sita. You know what they did? What do you think they did? Make a guess. The Sakis I'm talking about. When they see Ram and Lakshman, the bashful damsels of Janakpur ran away. But they didn't go home. Remember, Mata Sita went to do puja to Gauri first? To get a groom who is worthy of her? She said she ran back to the Mandir. She runs back to the Mandir. Jaya Jaya Giribara Raja Kishori, Jaya Mahesha Mukachanda Chakori, Jaya Gajabhadana Sharananda Mata, Jagata Janani, Damini Duti Mata. She went and she prayed once again to Gauri. And she says, hey Gauri Mana, anyone. Boliye Siyapati Ramachandra ki jai. Let us sing. You understand the Katha? She go back, she pray. And who she prays for? She prays that this is the one I want to get married. Oh Mata, you know everything. You know the beginning, you know the end, oh Ma. And you also know what is inside my heart. May my heart's desires be fulfilled. Anybody who listens to this Katha will be blessed with unalloyed, unblemished love. And love will flow in their homes. Such homes will be blessed always with love. You think Hindu Dharma don't have romance in it? There is not a better book of romance than Ram Charitmanas and the story of Sri Ram. The eternal love story of Ram and Sita is told here. And when we listen to this, we too become filled with love and devotion in our heart. We will all sing.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Everybody, feel Bhagwan's love. Feel the love. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. You don't have to go read Harlequin, Mills and Boons. read Ram Charit Manas. Today I was thinking how much we are depriving ourselves if we don't read Ramayan in our lives. I ask all of you, it's available. Buy yourself a Ramayan and read it every day in your life. You will see how you will grow in beauty and in love every day. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem se bolo Siyapati Ramachandra ki jai.
Vyas Maharaj ki jai. All right. Here I say you guys should give it. Devotees, when Shivri met Bhagwan Sri Ram, she expressed love to Bhagwan. But only so much Shivri could do with her love for Bhagwan Sri Ram. When Hanumanji met Bhagwan Sri Ram, he expressed a different kind of love that manifests itself finally through his muscles. And when Sita Devi would have looked at that divine form of Bhagwan Sri Ram and vice versa, and Bhagwan Sri Ram would have looked at her beauty, that expression, how would our mind comprehend it? I've been sitting there as a Vyakta who sat there many times and read the same Katha. You who are a listener only understand it from a listening perspective. We, from the reader and the teller, we understand it from a different perspective. And there comes a time when you listen, and you listen, and you listen, and then you say, wow, he has hit the ceiling and he is gone to another world. That is when you come to appreciate Katha from a whole different perspective. When you stop being a judge and shut your mind off and just start enjoying. From that perspective, you just get your mind immersed into it and you get lost. So if you are listening as a person who tells the Katha, you can't enjoy it. You have to listen from the perspective of the person who wants to listen to a Katha. Anytime we are listening to Katha and we have some thought of questioning, not until we give up that, then we start enjoying. So, when Pandit Rishi Ram, one day he met me, and we are always in that predicament whenever we have to read a yagna. What are we going to read? What are we going to read? What are we going to read? Now this will go on for months on end. From the time we hear about the yagna, what are we going to read? And then one day he came to me and he says, I will read only the marriage throughout the 7 days. I kept quiet. And I did not give an answer. Because I want to be surprised. You know, I don't want to give an opinion of what I want to hear. I want it to come from the Vyas himself. Many times we ask the judgment, what do you want to hear? But when it comes from the Vyas, it is all different. This moment in Ramcharitamanas is very, very, very unique, and it is very special. I'll tell you one thing. For young girls and boys who have not yet experienced that, they're beggars. They're beggars because only when you have experienced it, when you have experienced love for the other person firsthand, then you would know it. For these, I'm really sorry for them. They can't understand.
You never know.
They can't understand. You know, sometimes when me and, Gita keep on going at it, Hema or Rudresh would come up and say, God, what happened to you two? You know? But then sometimes we sit down and, Gita will pull out some of those moments and say, you remember that? And then I sometimes, very forgetful, sometimes I would say, no, I can't remember that, and she'd just get upset. That was one of the best moments in our life. You can't remember it. And those are the moments that keep a relationship constantly fresh.
Yeah.
Those are the moments that keep relationships constantly fresh. It is not the bickering. And if you let the little bickering stop the fresh flow of your experiences, devotees, then you also would be a beggar on the other side. So once again, this is what Ramcharitamanas does for us. It brings out that experience that we have experienced or we are still to experience. It will never come twice. This is the moment of Ramcharitamanas. So I would like to thank you all so much for being here, and I wish Vyaasji would have gone another hour because it was very quiet. And then I saw two people went and lowered the AC. I put it low because when it's too warm, people feel sleepy. But when it's cold, they have more attention and listen better, So thank you very much, Vyaasji. And tonight was indeed, again, very, very, very special. Devotees, before we stand for the Aarti, once again, I know, like Bhagwan Ram and Bhagwan Vishnu and all of them, they have traveled a far way today, and they must be tired when they go home tonight. They are going to be resting with this on their mind, and Bhagwan will definitely, reveal himself to them and to all of you in this moment of sleep. Today, I would like to, Bhagwan Krish, Bhagwan Kavita, Bhagwan Lake, and, Bhagwan Rajni and Bhagwan Hank have been here before. So I think Bhagwan Krish and them, they're seeing the Mandir for the very first time. Is that so, Bhagwan Krish? Yes, and, so this is what we have been creating for the last 18 years. And, whenever you are doing a painting, as an artist, people look at you as you're painting and they ask, what are you painting? how are you going to tell them what you're painting? You'll say, wait and see. And the painting continues. And then the mind becomes more intriguing. And then, what are you painting? Hold on, you will see. And when the end product come out, they says, wow. So it took 18 years for us to build this. Many times people walk in and says, Panditji, I just feel good here. I feel the energy. I love it. I'm going to always come here. And the people come and tell me the same thing all the time. If Bhagwan Sri Krishna graced me, the next one would be 10 times better than this. That's the picture I have in mind that you still cannot see. It is already in drawing. It is already designed. But even if I show you, you would not see it. Only when it's completed, then you will get to experience it. And today I'd like to thank all of you who have made contributions one way or another, hoping for that dream to be realized. Prem se boliye Siyapati Ramchandra ki Jai. Thank you. We should stand for that.
Hare
परम ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। हरि ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। प्रेम सो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। महापति महादेव की जय। पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। So what do you think about tonight's katha? See, very good. While Vyaasji was giving that katha, I think he was remembering the days when I saw the expression. It was nice. Devotee, I'd like you to come again tomorrow night and support us. And you will enjoy for sure, guaranteed. God bless each and every one of you. You will take your arti and panchamrit and so on. And Dad, happy birthday. I know this is your best birthday you probably have. God bless.
Thank you. And thanks to all of you. Please take your arti, your chanamrit, your prasad, and please take your food, sit down, enjoy the atmosphere for a little bit, and please, like Pandit Ganeshi said, come tomorrow and Sunday.
Is it a little bit? No, I work. Tomorrow morning.
Oh, Vaishali, go sing while we're here.
Ready, buddy?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Okay? You want to do something?
Put the mic lower for him.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
amazing. All right. Wow. Yeah.
He wants a thing.